Alright, I'm live. Let's just dropping a message in the Discord like usual. Hello, Mr. Boberman. Let's get the game up and running. So some of the stuff that's changed in this one, let me show you the Git log. Let's just get things in order here. I don't want to get in a big kerfuffle with my windows. So July 16th, that's where I am. So we can do tactical chemical switching. So by that I mean instead of enabling it once at the beginning of your career, you can actually enable and disable it whenever you want inside the game. So there may be cases where you want to gather data but not necessarily release chemicals. So if you've got some tactics or you're up to some other shenanigans, you can decide when and where those chemicals get released. And we've adjusted the spawn offsets because I realized when you spawn on top of an overpass, you spawn in the overpass and then kind of like get catapulted out the bottom, which isn't ideal. It just makes the game look a bit unpolished, so I fixed that. Updated the chemical palette, so with me being colorblind, I couldn't actually tell the difference between some of the text, so I've fixed that. Hopefully it's a bit more distinct now. I've also created a particle system for the chemicals, so what it will do is release a visible mist from the probe whenever you hit one of the thresholds to release chemicals. Then lastly, I just fixed that outstanding thing where we didn't have the scroll wheel fixed. So if you use the scroll wheel to zoom the mini map in and out, it zoomed your camera in and out as well. So I fixed that as well. So let's just test it. I've still got my editor open and codecs ready. Hello, Storm Fury. I've still got those things ready in case we need to go back and forth and fix. Hopefully this is more of a gameplay live stream than a development one, because I've got a live view of like the numbers of who's watching. So I watched it drop from like 8 down to 2 the last time I had to spend like 20 minutes fixing something. So yeah, let's start. Top 21% of chasers. Okay, oh there we go. That test couldn't have worked out better actually. It spawned us on top of this. It would be nice if it rotated us 90 degrees, but oh well, it didn't spawn us inside the bridge, that's the key thing. Why is it so dark? Oh yeah, where we're up to and thing, it's 1st of March, it's the very beginning of spring, so at 8 in the morning, it's still going to be somewhat dark, isn't it? Oh, I've managed to somehow introduce another bug into the game. Let me just fix the tailgate, it's kind of hanging half open. So let me check the data page. Ah, that's much better. I think PSI is a little bright. Maybe I can darken that a bit, but at least I can tell much better now as I've seen wind, pressure, temperature. And then you can just disable chemicals anytime with this. I see the outline on the back isn't quite fixed. Oh, there we go, it's fixed now. Oh, I see what's happened. It's been placed over the Analyze button, so that's going to have to be fixed. That's going to be fixed, we're not going to be able to play the game with that. Let's just use codecs really quickly. Let's see if I can do this in fewer than 3 minutes. Let's see, we're just hitting 4 minutes live. See if I can do this before 7 minutes. Right, resume. Where did I add the tactical chemicals? Chemicals button has been rendered over the Analyze button. Please move the Analyze button up so it's visible too. I think the AI will be a bit smarter than that. Hello, Victor. So remember when you replied Shoebricks to my Discord post? Have you fixed it yet? It's not a bug. I just haven't implemented what happens to the player when they get picked up by the tornado yet. So I've added to the truck, so the truck can get picked up, but I haven't added anything to the player yet. Yeah, so by shoe bricks, I literally just mean massive, big, heavy bricks in the shoes, which mean you're completely immovable even in 500-mile-an-hour winds. I know it's not realistic. I just haven't figured out what the game logic is going to be or how I'm going to animate that yet. Yeah, I think you need to be a lot more vulnerable outside the vehicle. Maybe I'll add death for if you're placed outside the vehicle. If you've exited the vehicle during high winds, maybe I should introduce like death into the game then. Move the Analyze button upward by 70 pixels, leaving a 20 pixel gap above the chemicals toggle. Okay, well, we'll see if that's true. So build and run, then I'll have to exit and then run it with my little developer's shortcut. Have spent some time this evening reaching out to some big YouTubers. I'm trying to see if I can get some coverage of the game. I did have an email from Greysteel Players back in 2023 and also from Real Civil Engineer. Both of them replied, but never did a video of the game. Admittedly, the game wasn't massively polished back in 2023. Hopefully this one's more presentable. There's more of a chance of them covering it. But yeah, I'm feeling the game now is fun enough and looking decent enough to start kind of marketing it to streamers. Yeah, so to summarize the answer to the question, Shubrix, it's not a bug, it's just a feature that hasn't been implemented yet. So I'll just need to quit here and then relaunch here. And I really want to see what this mist looks like. Hopefully that logic works properly. Right, career mode. Okay, that's top 98%. So in other words, bottom 2% of chases. Let's skip that. Top 32%. That should be fine. Let's keep hunts enabled. Right, hopefully that's better. Much better. So we can enable and disable chemicals and then analyze data. Alright. So let's get reflectivity on. Oh, let's zoom out. Can't see a thing there. It's going up to our north. It could move any direction though, so let's go to velocity. And I think let's just drive north towards it, but I'm not sure if we're already ahead of the storm. If it moves southwest, or southeast, sorry. If it moves southeast, we're already ahead of it. So let me just go this next intersection, then we've got options north, south, east and west. I want to make sure chemicals are enabled, yeah, because we're going to be using them a lot. A new Tornado game released today. Is that Funnel Runners? I've been seeing a lot of hype about that. It's been getting a lot more attention than this game has, even though this game is actually about tornadoes. Funnel Runners, it does look, don't get me wrong, it does look like a brilliant game. It's been really well done, it looks fun, and I probably will buy it. But it's fundamentally a puzzle game where tornadoes get in your way. It's not really about the tornadoes, it's about like the teamwork and collaboration and trying to like solve the puzzle before the tornado gets to you, but it's not really a storm chasing game. How much is it selling for? Let me just open up Steam. $10% off, there's a £9? Yeah, I'll have a successful release. It's always... I was kind of lucky when I released this game. Like, I didn't really do any proper marketing or anything, and I released it and it just gained traction, like, immediately. I see a lot of posts on, like, the indie dev subreddits of people who've worked on a game for, like, 7 years, release it, and it gets, like, 4 sales and 5 wish lists, and gets almost no attention, which it must be heartbreaking when you put that much time and effort into it. See, I do hope the game does perform well, does successfully. A lot of work goes into releasing the game, especially one like I've seen like the early access or early preview videos of it. It already looks extremely well done and well polished. Right, let's see which direction's this thing moving. Can we figure it out? Oh yeah. There's already something touching down. It's moving straight east, so let's race it to the east. Something touching down. Oh, there we go. That looks like a land spout. That's just the debris cloud, I think. That's not the tornado. I think we can probably just ride this one out. As long as it doesn't intensify insanely quickly, let's just position ourselves right inside of it. We're planning to make this game multiplayer. Yes, I am. I want to get the single player experience all polished up and presentable first. And then I need to go and refactor and re-architect the code so it's nice and clean and ready for all the complicated stuff that'll have to be added to support multiplayer. Right, let's just get our bearings. Are there any towns we need to worry about? One right in the northeast corner and some to our north, but I think so, a couple to our east. But right now there's no towns immediately in danger. Okay, we're getting some F2 strength winds in here. This is a narrow one. I'm going to try and drive into it because it's still very weak. Hello, Neon. Sunny. Missed logic. Yeah, so what it should do is when the chemicals actually release, is you should see them shoot out of that middle pipe there. So if the probe's a T, the center bit of the T, you should see mist shoot out, but it should be coloured. So on the data page, see how each chemical has a colour? It should match that colour as well. I think it adds more to the game, so it's not just some abstract idea of, oh, there's some chemicals, but it's just kind of pretend and done in the background that are actual chemicals being visibly released. I think we'll be okay to drive into this. So I should probably stay on the external camera if I want to test that out. So we're just collecting wind samples right now. Oh, right in the middle of this thing. How far did we get? 15%, so still got a little ways to go to test that. Okay, it's a big one already. Look, the last one did something similar, where it was really narrow and then suddenly just rapidly widened and intensified. I think we're okay to very cautiously drive into the outer circulation. So I want to try and stay roughly in the F1 range, so between 70 and 80 miles an hour is probably ideal. Keep an eye on data there, 22, 23, 24. Oh, well, just got hit by something. What's getting shredded? Something's getting shredded nearby. 42%, 45, 46, 48, 49, 50. I want to zoom out as far as I can, because if it releases like it did in the editor, it should look pretty cool. Still, I don't know what it properly looks like, because the editor adds like an orange outline to every particle, so you'll all be seeing this properly for the first time at the same time as me. 82, 83, let's try and follow it off-road. It's helpful we've got the other dust particles as well, because I need to make sure that the render properly. 34% wind. Oh, I don't see anything. Nothing's getting released. Can't see anything. Well, that's disappointing. I thought it would have worked. It was working in the editor. What did the wind speed just do there? I feel like it responded very strongly to wind speed. Okay, let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it this way in case it's something to do with the other particles that we're seeing. Can anyone see anything? I don't see anything happening. Right, this is intensifying insanely rapidly. Look at the debris, it's getting absolutely launched. Look how far away it's pulling the debris in from as well. Wherever it touches is going to get absolutely demolished. The truck's struggling. Let's plan our route, how we're going to get around this thing. We'll head south, and then we'll head east again. We'll run parallel to it. Plus 25, so 100%, so if it was already an F5, it's going to be going to F10 strength, because 100% just means it's going to double the max wind speed it would have already been. So when I was emailing people about this today, I was saying you're going to get a runaway positive feedback loop, and that's exactly what we're seeing now. So this is making the wind stronger, which is making the wind field wider, which means we're staying inside of the wind field for longer, which means it's absorbing more chemicals, and then the same thing's happening over and over again. Oh, it's got a hold of us. Let me try and break out of the outer wind field. Plus 45% wind speed. This is starting to get ridiculous. Should I see how it responds to size as well? I think if we increase the wind speed anymore, we're not going to be able to get anywhere near it. Switch to pressure now. So we are here. One thing, it doesn't look like the overlay is matching the actual wind speeds we're experiencing. I think we might have a couple of bugs to fix live on stream. Look, this is F1. This should be like 70 to 90 miles an hour or something. One injury. Yeah, the wind overlay isn't actually matching what's happening in reality. Okay, not good, not good, not good. Has it released any pressure? Did it? Okay, where can we go? Where's the nearest road? To our southeast. How fast are we going? 45. How fast is it going? 62. Okay, it didn't respond to size there, but let's see what we can do. Yeah, it's got us. Oh, cow just bounced off of there. Should we just do a quick deploy of the probe and see what the probe picks up? $350, $360, $370. So 588 is the number to beat. Okay, responded 1% there. See if we can pan the camera a bit. See what's happening. This one was definitely a runaway reaction. So a quick recall. See if we can actually see any chemicals being released. $758, $59, $60. So I think we'll do a little bit of bug fixing. Just for a little bit. We'll certainly make the news. I don't even think there'd be any infrastructure left to broadcast the news after a tornado like this. 5, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 96. Okay, let's hide that. Okay, I don't see anything getting emitted. Let's get a photo. Right, let's do a little bit of live bug. Let's analyse the data. I've already gathered it. Might as well analyse it. But we'll have some bug fixing to do. Good thing we've got codecs, so we can do this 10, 20 times faster than what it would take to do manually. Let me catch up on the chat a bit. Yeah, I have considered using Unity's VFX graph. It's a bit complicated. It's a lot more time consuming. This was something I just wanted to put in quickly. So we've got some visual indication of the chemicals, but it's something I could do with the couple of hours I have free in the night time. And the reason the truck doesn't fly away when you leave the truck is similar to the shoe brick feature, you could call it. What it's really about is that if the truck flies away and you don't, then there's not anything you can really do on foot, and yet chase kind of just ends there, and it would be a bit boring. So I think this had the same logic in the 2023 version. There's one stream where the truck flew away, and I spent like 20 minutes just trying to walk after it to get back in again, and it was just a bit boring. Killed all the momentum that the chase had going. So yeah, I just don't let the truck fly away. So what should be is if you fly away, you should probably die. If you fly in the truck, I haven't decided yet. I kind of like the penalties. I don't like the idea of your chase ending just from getting caught by the tornado. Yeah, VFX Graph is more complicated to use. I've used it before for some of the demos, like using the fluid simulation, like velocities to move fake debris and stuff around. It's very performant. Like you could put like 100,000 bits of debris in, and it doesn't really put that much strain on the hardware, which is surprising. Uh, but still, I think now that the game's already doing so much, I think the VFX Graph, even though it doesn't add a lot of strain, could be like the straw that breaks the camel's back, so to speak. Like just push it a bit too far. Um, I tested it in the full build. We may have to test it in the editor. Just to speed things up, we don't have time to like create a scenario, wait for a tornado to spawn. So what I'm thinking is add a button which triggers the logic, test that in the editor. If it works, test it in build mode. If that works, then we know it's something to do with the triggering. Otherwise, it's something to do with the rendering. I guess now, since you always have the laptop, you could have a recall truck option for when you're outside the truck. What is the chemical release test key? F8. Okay, let's test it. Let's test it in the editor first. So we'll do an editor test, then we'll do a build test, and then we'll know whether we're talking about rendering or if the logic's actually legitimately not triggering the particle system. Let's do it in the editor first. It'll be a little bit slower in the editor because the editor's got a bunch of other stuff it's got to keep track of for you that it doesn't have to in the build. But I think it's worth doing. Is there no limit on how strong the chemicals can make the tornado? No, and the limit is your hardware. So as long as your hardware can handle all the destruction and calculate all the physics for all the particles and bits of house and whatnot flying around, there's no limit. Like last night's stream where we had an F10 tornado. Also, I've had an idea for like a mini puzzle game. I might take one evening just to prototype it out, where essentially you have access to an alien computer. Well, I've got to say this isn't really fully my idea. a friend at work had an idea for like a language decoding game. Then I kind of uh, padded out the idea a bit more. The idea is you have an alien computer and you can input any of the 1,000 most common English words, and it'll output a string of alien text. And what it'll do is the alien text will map to English, but the challenge is that each symbol can map to either a single letter, a couple of letters, a triplet of letters, or maybe even an entire word. So the idea is that it'll generate, say, 50 or 100 symbols, and you've got to decode all of them. So you can input whatever word you want, and it'll keep giving you the symbols, and you've got to try and figure out how those symbols map to either individual or groups of letters or individual words. No, it's not tornado related. I'm just thinking about other games that I've got ideas for. Right. So what was it that I'm waiting for? Oh, it's finished. Sorry. I felt like I was waiting for something to load, and then I just kind of got distracted by stuff on my desk. Right, let's go career mode. Oh, there's no sound. Let me enable the sound. There we go. So let's try F8. You know, I don't see anything. Do you see anything? Main gameplay. Play a truck. Mesh. Yellow truck optimized. Toto. Chemical particle system. Right, so if I zoom out here. Right, if I hit F8 and then quickly go to there. Oh, it is releasing them. I think the particles are too small. 1 second. Let's set the start size from 1 to 10. Try that again. Ah, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Except it is not following the physics or anything that set before. Let's just say 1 to 1. Let's try that again. It's not that big, is it? I was expecting to be a bit bigger than that. Right, how do I set the volume? So is that the only space that the... How do I set the size of the particle, like, volume? It's something I haven't done in a while. So let's just hit F8 again. They're not getting very far. I think I've got too much damping. Whereas limited velocity over lifetime, I have damping set to 10 or drag set to 10. What if I set drag to 1? Ah, that's more like what I was expecting. I still think it could go further. I think drag's a bit too high. Let's set it to 0.5. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. I want a bit more spread on the velocity over lifetime. Let's set that to say like -4 to 4, -4 to 4. I have to remember these because it resets them after, yeah. Okay, we need... right, the start size. So let's say between 0.1 and 1. What is? I think 1's a bit too big. 0.1 and 0.5. Let's see what that's like. It's not visible, is it? Between 0.1 and 0.5. 0.25 and 0.75. Let's try that. Still a bit too small. 0.5 and 1. Okay, I'm happy with that. What do people think? Get bigger over times. Like dispersing the atmosphere. Yeah, I've kind of got that. I've got size over lifetime. So yeah, they do gradually get bigger. Maybe I need to up the max number of particles and increase the emission rate. Yeah, something like that. It's now visibly doing something. Like it all comes out of the central, what do you call it, a flute? It comes out of the flute of the probe. So right now I'm just pressing a button to test it. But in reality it will use the colour, it'll match to the colour of what was just released. Right, so we need to remember what I changed. So start size is 0.5 to 1. Max particles is 5,000. Emission rate is 2,000. And then minus 4 to 4. And then drag is 0.5. What I might just do, I can get rid of this. Just take a screenshot and drop it in Paint. Sometimes the simple solutions are the best ones. So I'll just say, I was working correctly. And please get that test key. Keep the logic there, just disable it so it's there to re-enable in the future. Right, so we'll stop that. We'll go to the main gameplay scene. Right, then we need to go to player truck. Then we need to fix the Winfield map as well. Right, reload. Is this finished? Messing with it? Right, I've got them here in Paint. I'm just going to put them on the other screen. Player truck, mesh, yellow truck optimized, Toto, chemical system. Right. So what did we change? Start size was 0.5 to 1. 0.5 to 1. What else did we change? Rate, we set the max particles to 5,000. Emission set to 2,000. I don't think we actually changed the shape, did we? Didn't do anything to the shape. Then velocity over lifetime. We set these minus 4 to 4 instead of 2 to 2. So editor's going a little bit slow. I think it's just recompiling some stuff there. Then limit velocity over lifetime. Drag was set to 0.5, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So we'll save that. Next thing, I think for this, we'll start a new conversation. So we'll say the new chemical system can push tornadoes well beyond the 380 mile per hour hard limit that's implemented everywhere. for this task, I just need you to update the tornado maps / tracks. Anything above F5 stays the same color as F5, but the overall wind field updates correctly. Now the fall off shown on the tornado trails and the actual wind speed measured by the probe differ. And then this is a good place to do a commit as well, because we just fixed the particle system. So let's add that. Updated / fixed particle system. And now I can push it to remote server, so my laptop could explode and I can still recover the game. See how Codex gets on. Hello, Real Smurf. Sorry I didn't see a message there. What features have I added? So there was a minor bug fix with the scroll wheel of the mouse zooming the camera when you're trying to scroll the minimap. The major thing is I'm adding particles so that when the chemicals are released, you actually see them get released from the probe. That's probably the biggest thing. I've also swapped it so that instead of just enabling or disabling the chemicals once for the entire session, that button's been moved now into the game. So if you don't want to use chemicals, you just hit disable. If you want to tactically or strategically use the chemicals or disable the chemicals, you can disable just the chemicals, but still collect data. I found the mismatch. The trail texture stores wind as a normalized mile per hour over 318 value, so every local speed above saturates before the color pass. That destroys the true radial fall off, even though probe sample. Fixes store actual miles per hour in the packed trail channels and clamp only when choosing the display color. Okay, this could, let's see how it does. It might fundamentally break the tornado trails, but let's see. While it's doing that, should we take a look at the reviews for funnel runners? Good name as well. I've got to say that is a very catchy name. Let's see, how's it been received so far? Trapped in a doomed city, you and up to 7 friends must scavenge parts, fix your van, and escape the brutal tornado that approaches. A first-person co-op survival game with escalating disasters and total environmental destruction. It looks really good. 112 reviews already. That's really good. 81% positive. That's very similar to what I got in terms of percent positive. I didn't have 100 reviews on the first day. But yeah, it looks like they're doing well. The developers are streaming as well. That's really good. I'm really happy for them. Yeah, let's add it to my wish list. I'll purchase it off screen. I just don't off stream. I just don't want my card details, even the last 4 digits, getting made public. Let's wish. Where's the wish list button? Add to your wish list. Let's see, is this finished? Okay, I'm glad I've got Codex to write and update shaders for me. So I didn't generate the shader, so I wrote these shaders myself initially and then used Codex to add more features and make them more advanced than what I would have been able to manage by hand in a reasonable amount of time. Maps now receive the full effective wind speed. More mile per hour precision instead of flattening everything in 3D, and also match the. So that's to say, will the coloring still work? So anything greater than F5 still colors as just F5. Okay. Right, let's do a full build, try again. Will anticyclonic tornadoes be a thing? Oh, I could make them especially rare and have some like 10x multiplier for like your data. It's like the rarest thing would be like an anticyclonic mega wedge. Actually, I've got one more question for this. Let's do it in the... Since chemicals can widen tornadoes, do they trigger the mega wedge transition when getting larger? Because that's important. I assume that it would. So mega wedge, if the tornado starts to intersect with the wall cloud, it means it's starting to absorb the wall cloud and become a mega wedge. Kind of like a visual clue that you're getting a mega wedge tornado. Yes, chemical pressure was included in get width, and the render uses the buffed width for the mega wedge. Okay, cool. So that's already part of it. Let's do a build. Let's play. So it took 20 minutes to find the truck. That's in the 2023 version of the game, and before I fixed it. So I made it so that if you're outside the truck doesn't get moved, but the player does. Neither the truck or the player get moved right now when the player's outside the truck, so there's no need for a teleport button just yet. I still need to figure out how exactly I want to handle the first person view, the player getting hit by the tornadic winds. Hello, Marcus. Let me just check my emails off screen here. I'm hoping to hear back from anyone I've contacted about the game, but nothing just yet. Right, so I'll just have to quit and then launch it my own way. I think we might be able to start this round by buying a few upgrades. So let's go career mode. Top 22%, yep. I still think I need to rebalance this. I think intense days are still a bit too frequent. Right, upgrades. I think probe upgrades would be the best ones. Wind sampling data rate? Yeah. I think anything which speeds up sampling is the biggest return on investment. I definitely don't want to add weights to the truck yet. We can update the radar though. Let's get the image quality up and frequency, the update frequency up. Reflectivity. There we go, that's a bit better. It's a noticeable improvement over the previous one. Okay, it's gone up to our south. I think if we go a little bit to the east, that gives us options in each direction. Hopefully we'll get to see some actual chemicals be released. I've just realised I don't have the chat page open on my second screen. I'm missing your messages. Have I tried funnel runners? Not yet, I've only seen the gameplay. I can maybe do a stream tomorrow. I'll buy it after this, and maybe I do a stream of me reviewing funnel runners. Let's see, do we have velocity on? Yeah, we do. Alright, so we're just waiting. Let's step outside. We're looking for the wall cloud. Guess where it's going to be? I think it's going to be here. I know, I was a bit off. It's over here. There it is. Which direction's it moving? Do the little mouse trick. Looks to me about west-northwest. So let's try and get west of it. So we need to head south. Oh, there's towns as well in the way. That's south. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. We can go south and then we can go west. Whoa, that thing is spinning. Look at that wall cloud crank around like that. So which data types have I got enabled right now? Just wind. Yeah, let's just have it as just wind for now. Let's warn these towns just to our west. Well, tail clouds. Yeah, they're on the mental to-do list. I've got a note in the back of my head to add them. Just that'll probably be a couple of hour session to get done. Like, remember when I did multi-vortex tornadoes? That was 2 or 3 hours each day over the space of like 3 or 4 days. Tail clouds probably won't be as much, but still be a similar amount. I do want to get a much better model for the sirens in the game. I'm not even sure if we predicted the path correctly. So I'm looking east right now. Yeah, it still looks like it's moving northwest, which would be that direction. So assuming it's moving northwest, yeah, I don't think these towns are really in that much danger. Let's head north and just stay ahead of this thing. That's south, let's head north. Oh yeah, look, something's touching down. There's the first signs of a dust cloud. It's not really a debris cloud, because at this point, this early, it would just be dust that's getting kicked up. Oh, I was wrong actually, it's moving north, like north-northeast. Either way, I think going north was a good choice. It would be better to be on that side of the map. It's a lot more... Look, there's not a good way to get back to this side of the map. I think we'll off-road it for now. Are there any towns to be aware of? Not for miles. So what's the plan? Get on this road, head north, head east, and try and get our first intercept about here, assuming we can get there in time. So seeing how the game works moving forward, do you still have in mind an actual story mode? Oh yeah, I still definitely want to have that. I think maybe the chemical upgrades will be unlocked until a certain point in the story. So where's the intercept point? If I extrapolate from where it currently is, it's about there. I can't imagine the G-forces of actually driving like this, so I guess one advantage I have doing the game this time compared to back in 2023 is back in 2023 I drove maybe once every month, if that. Whereas I'm driving every day now, so I know going from 80 miles an hour down to 20 like that is a very harsh deceleration. I can hopefully make the vehicle handling a bit more realistic. Why do you still use the mouse technique? It's so unreliable. It's better than nothing. It's better than just a pure random guess. Okay, we're going to start gathering data now. Oh, this thing's getting strong already. How much data did we gather there? A fifth of the way there. Let's try and do that one more time. Oh, be careful here, that's getting really strong. Really quick. Well, probably already in the F3 range. It's a solid F3 right now. Oh look, the condensation funnel's right there. Just a few feet from us. Okay, 50%. So I think it's starting to get strong enough that I think we do need to do like a deployment, quick deploy, and get out of here. And we'll keep watching to see if we can see the particles get released. I guess the chemicals get released. 96. It's stopped for some reason. Oh, it's right in the middle. It will. There we go, we can see the particles getting released into the tornado. So that's working now. I'm happy with that. Have I got hunt enabled? Yes, I think I do. It's like each time I mention them, I seem to keep triggering them. Quick recall. North. We want to go north again. Looks like the next. Should we gather a bit more data? Let's gather pressure and temperature and see just what it reacts to. Did it react much to the wind speed temperature there? Right, we're gonna have to do quick deploy. So people who saw, what did it actually respond to the wind speed before? Can anyone remember what percentage it was? Let's try and admire the tornado for a little bit. Realise I haven't been able to get very good visuals of the tornadoes this stream. It's been either too close or it's been too dusty. Is the probe still getting data? No. Let's do quick recall. And plan for another. Oh, it's turning north again. I think if we back up until the winds get to about maybe 90 miles an hour, we can deploy and then just floor it and get away. Not a maneuver I'd ever attempt in real life. I think that goes without saying. Anything I do in this game, I'd never recommend doing in real life. Quick deploy. There we go. Let's check our data page. We're still getting good data. So we're all making solid progress towards releasing and modifying the Tornado again. Let's just hop out and get a good photo of this thing. Still collecting data. I think it's about 8%, thank you. So it responded a bit to wind speed. If you get repeated 8% increments in the wind speed, you can still see something really strong. I think it's time for a recall. Let's drive towards it again and do another deployment. Quick deploy, and let's starting to see some F5 shading in there. This thing is going F5 strength. Oh, we're getting a sub-vortex in there. Look on the right hand side. It's just disappearing behind with some sub-vortices in there. That forest is getting shredded. This is looking pretty cool. Oh, look at that. Nice. Okay, I think we need to head south a little bit. And east and try and get east before it cuts our intercept path off, otherwise we're going to end up behind the Tornado. Right, we're going to do a quick recall and we're going to do a quick deploy. Right about here. Whoa, just got hit by a cow. Lost 33 samples there. Oh, the fence is disappearing right next to us. How close are we to chemical speed release? Oh, we're very close now. Let's take the next road to the north. We'll try and get an intercept up here somewhere. Quick recall. That's it. Are there any towns you need to worry about? Not really, no. What's the best way to avoid tornado flow encounters? You move out of the way. I have to give you Dad Joke of the Year award for that. I like that. But like, I'll break with a disclaimer. Yeah, because you'll have some person who'll be like, oh, I played a game about tornadoes, now I'm an expert, let's just hop in my mum's truck and drive into one. Oh, I died, it's the game creator's fault. Okay, let's do a quick deploy. See if we can see some chemicals get released. Need to be making a rapid getaway here. Oh, the bounce go flying. Oh, there's our wind speed chemical. Plus 2% there, so up to, what, plus 4% for that. We should see another one in a second. Okay, it slowed the ground speed down, that's the red one. Tornado size. Okay, let's head north and we can head east. Oh, the probe wasn't even hit by it directly. That was before the probe was even hit. It's got multi-vortex, even though it's just narrow, look. And some suction vortices just reaching down from the sky, tearing stuff up. I think it's got 3 suction vortices. Look at that. It's like a claw. It's like Rocky's hands. Okay. Everyone's seen Project Hail Mary. Definitely got a better view from here. Oh, people seen the footage from the Otis project, that tornado over the lake in Alberta? That's going to be one of the most amazing, beautiful views of a tornado I've ever seen. I think the only other footage which has made me stop and question it was the Dalton, Ashby, Minnesota tornado from like 2021 or something like that? So you do that drill bit. That's what made me think, is that footage seriously real? Like that, just had to stop and just stare in amazement at it. I said Rocky, man, pal boy. Well, yeah, that's why when he chooses a name for Rocky's wife in Hail Mary, that's why he chooses Adrian. Can you play with the game with the steering wheel? I haven't tested it. I haven't designed it or tested it to do that, so it'd be worth a try, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't work. Or if it only partially worked, like it might pick up like just the accelerator pedal, but the steering doesn't work. I'm not sure. I'd definitely be interested to see what happens if you test it. Oh, I didn't actually get my probe, right. Quick recall. Right, a little bit dangerous. But we're just near the extreme winds. Let's watch out for those tanks, because those can get lofted as well. Watch out for the debris coming from our right. Where's the next? That's going to be too close. Where do I want to deploy? A little bit further up here. I want to try and be on the right flank if I can. Let's see what sort of wind speeds we're measuring inside of that. Looking scary now. I was curving away at the last second. Are we going to get a direct hit or not? Some F2 strength winds. This is what it's like from the point of view of the camera. It's going to be decently close, even if it's not an exact hit. We can probably go as well north and then west and do another intercept along here. F2 2 strength winds. Let's gear up for another intercept. Yeah, I think we're properly in the path here. Quick recall, quick deploy. Then we may even get one more intercept along here. Vegetation's disappeared, which is a shame. Project Hail Mary is a great book as well. Yeah, I actually read the book like a week or 2 before seeing the movie. I had so much hype about the movie that I thought I've just got to read the book first. I could not put that book down. I read it in 4 days. It was so good. Oh, about to see some chemicals start getting released. How good, can you see them? What's the probe measuring? 157, 158. I don't think we're going to beat our F10 that we got. The tornado on the last session, not the last stream, but the one we did right at the beginning of this stream, did seem like a good contender for F10, since we increased the wind speed by like 150% or something ridiculous. Just want to have a look at it. I will have to end the stream once this goes off the map. Yeah, I'm out of bounds. Let's just not cheat and stay inside the bounds of the map. Hopefully we're okay where we are. Top out the truck. Nice horizontal vortex there. Yeah, the tree looks good. I think I need to adjust the LOD bias on this, just so trees look a bit better, because you can see the visual popping, like it switches from a high quality model to a low quality model quite quickly, just over a short distance. No point of the lodding system. Oh, is it hunting me now? Let's just stay on foot. So I kind of need this tornado to end, because I need to start getting ready to push the update. And I need to go to bed as well. What's the wind speed inside? If we get some good views of some sub-vortices. Wind speed meters going insane. So it's alternating between two different wind speeds really quickly, so that audio glitching you can hear is it uses two different sound effects depending on the wind speed, because it's alternating between them so quickly. It's creating some weird audio glitching there, so I do apologise for that. I don't know if it's to do with being outside the map. We'll put it outside the map so that it starts to weaken and die. Getting some 260-mile-an-hour winds there. Okay, it stopped hunting, so hopefully this is the last of it. See our chemicals over there, tornado size increased, ground speed slowed down again. This one responded a lot more to ground speed, but not too much to the, I guess, the more interesting ones of size and strength. What does it look like from the point of view of the probe? Because we've left the probe. How far is it from us? 500 meters, 750 meters, maybe a kilometer. Ah, looks like quite cool from the probe's point of view. Right, so on the weaken now. While we're waiting for that to weaken, let's analyse all the data we've got. No F5 data this session. 112,000, so let's get some upgrades. No probe ones we can get just now, so let's upgrade the truck. I think... yeah, being more resistant to wind will pay back. Yeah, I think a stronger engine and better acceleration would be good too. No probe ones. No radar upgrades. Is that the tornado roughing out? Yeah, so I think this update's ready to publish. So I'll go back to the main menu. Oops. We'll just keep the weather quality as ultra. So yeah, that's it for tonight's stream. I'll publish this update now. Should have it in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you everybody who's joined the chat. I really enjoy the interaction, so please do like, thumbs up, click the bell, do all the YouTube things so you get notified for the next stream. If you haven't already joined the Discord, all you have to do is, if you have the game, just click that button in the bottom left. It'll take you to the Discord server. That's where I announce live streams, upcoming updates, and when updates go live and all that. So definitely join the Discord. But I'm going to sign out now because I do need to get some sleep before tomorrow. And I hope you all have a brilliant rest of your day, whatever you have planned.